Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy. And as I was finishing up on my Granny's Buttons digital kit from Shabby Art Boutique yesterday, I did several projects and I had lots of papers and ephemera and things left over. And this is the kind of little package that I put everything in so that I can come back later and use some of the ephemera or maybe some of the background pages. But I had a thought. When I print out my kits, I print out all the pages, all the ephemera, all the background pages, and then I decide all the background pages I print also on the back side so that if I put them together in a journal, I already have background pages for all sides of the book. But on the tags and things like that, I also decide which pages I need to print on the back of so that if I use something as a tag or something where the back will show, I already have some decorative design on the back. So in this kit, there were a lot of background pages without extra designs on them. About what I mean by that was some extra other than just a rose pattern or some other, all over pattern. So I had about a dozen pages that I had printed front and back. The front and the back are different. And instead of putting those away, I decided to use my Cricut machine. And I tried to do a video, but I didn't do that very well. So I'll just explain. On the Cricut machine, you can put your paper in there, your cardstock or whatever kind of paper, and select something from their online patterns and cut it out. So I decided that with all those pages, I would make envelopes. And I selected, let's see, where's my notes? Okay. I selected an envelope that would end up being 3 inches by 4 inches when it was put together. So I went ahead and let my Cricut machine cut all those out for me and score them. And then with the leftover paper on the side that I hadn't used for the envelope, I cut out a journal card to go inside the envelope and several tags that would match. So I'm just going to show you right quick what one of those looks like, and then I have one that I decorated and finished that I'll show just to give you an idea of what you could do with these. Let's see. Here's one right here. Now this is what the envelope looks like when it prints out. And it's scored here, 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 and here. And so I could use either side that I want to. I'm going to use the roses. And what you want to do if you like to ink the edges is go ahead and do that before you fold everything together. So I'll just go around this right quick. Okay, and because it's scored, it's easy to put this together. Just turn it over and fold in the two sides. And use your bone folder to make sure it's folded down good. And then fold up the bottom. And then you want to glue this on these two edges here so that it makes the envelope. So just run a bead of glue around the edge. I think this was called stationery envelope if you happen to have a Cricut, but you could also find a template probably even in one of the kits that you have, or a template somewhere that you could make an envelope like this. Okay, and then fold the top down. So there you have your envelope. And so then I went and I cut out journal card and some tags. So what I have is a journal card that's slightly smaller than the envelope so that it will slide down inside. So the envelope is 3 by 4. So I cut this tag 2.5 by 3.5 so that it would easily slide down inside the envelope. Also what I did, I had some other pieces left, and so I cut out a couple of tags that are 2 by 3.5, and then one that is 1.5 by 3.5. And that's mostly what I could get out of the leftover paper, depending on how I cut it. This particular one, I got 2 journal cards, so that's really cool. Now, all these can be used on your, in your journal, on your journal pages. Let me just give you some ideas. Let's say this is your journal page, and you want to use this envelope. You could glue it down, maybe put a ribbon in under so that you could tie it closed, and flip it up and have your journal card inside. You could also glue it down in such a way that you have a pocket at the top, or a pocket at the side or the bottom, and still it would open up. Another way I've used an envelope is to put it down and then decorate this side and then let it flip up. Or the other way around, put it down, let it flip down. Another idea is to, if you have a clip or hidden paper clip, you can tuck your envelope in under it. Another idea is to mount the envelope on the edge of your paper and either clip it on or glue it down on the other back side, and then it can flip out. So that's some ideas on how you could use these. And I don't know what made me think of it. I've had the Cricut machine for probably almost 2 years, and I've just used it a little, and lately I've been trying to think of ways that I could use it more. I've sort of taught myself to print and cut, which is absolutely awesome for fussy cutting items that are very intricate. I haven't totally figured that out, but I did it on a few items that I had in one of my last couple of videos. But this is my idea, and here's my stack of envelopes. These are all Shabby Art Boutique papers from the Granny's Buttons kit, but you, I'm sure, have lots of papers that you could use, and they're plain enough that you could use in most any journal. So what I want to show you next is just what I did this morning, just to show you what you could do. I cut out this background paper, and since a lot of my journals are like 5 by 7 or something like that, I cut this paper, the background paper, 4.5 by 5.5, and I used my decorative corner punch to make the corners decorative. And the idea is that I've made this and I can glue it down on a page in the journal. I could even glue it down in such a way so that there's a side pocket. So these could be made up in advance or as you go through your journal. And what I did was I glued this envelope down on 3 sides so that it has a pocket in the top. I'm going to take those items out and show them to you later. But remember, it has a pocket at the top. And I decided to use this little button here as a closure. This is one of the elements from the kit. I decorated the flap with some lace and the word buttons and a rose. And it was kind of neat. I let it hang over the edges a little bit. Now this flap just tucks right under the top edge of this button, so the button's only glued down on the bottom half. So you can open it up this way. This particular envelope is yellow, has a yellow pattern inside, so that the papers that I've printed have yellow on the back and the roses on the front. I used one of the tabs from the kit just to have something on this journal card. I wrote the word love on there, and this can be written on front and back. You could also tuck a letter or a note inside here, or the extra cards that I had printed out on that one kit. You can have anything you want in there. So this just closes back up by tucking it underneath the button. Now the tags that I made, I told you I made 3. This one, I have one that is, let's see, 2 by 3.5, and 2 of them are 1.5 by 3.5. And it just all depended on how I was able to use the paper. So I've taken these tags, and I have this tag maker here that will make a, if your paper's 1.5, 2.5, or 2 inches wide, it slides in here and punches the top to look like this tag. So I found that very handy to have on hand. You can also cut the corners off of the top and punch a hole and have the same thing. So I'll just show you the tags. I just tied a little lace at the top of this and used one of my pieces of ephemera that I had already fussy cut out from the kit on the front, and then the yellow is on the back. Another tag I did, I flipped it over and used the yellow side, used a little lace and one of the bobbins and with love, and tied a bow at the top. I put these all in there at the same time. This one just has a button and a little ribbon. I tied a ribbon at the top. Now, because I've glued something on the front of these, they may not slide in and out as easy. You need to kind of put them all in at the same time. So there's our 3 tags in this envelope pocket. Also, I had this that I had already printed out from the button kit and inked around. So I thought, well, I'll just tuck that in here too. This could have also gone inside the envelope. So that's my idea I wanted to share with you today. I always have pages left over, and to me this was a great thing to do because many of the kits don't come with envelopes, and an envelope is a great way to make a pocket or a flip in your journal and add dimension to your pages. So I'll save this little piece here, and I'll glue it down on a page somewhere sometime, and put it in my stash of things that I have that I can use that way. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and will be inspired to do some things with your extra papers. And in the event that you don't have an envelope or tags, you have all these made up that you can pull from and use in your journals. So I'll be back soon with a new project. I'm working on a project from Shabby Art Boutique's Craft Room, and that may be my next one. And I will share that here and also on the Craft Room page that is a members only page. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.